The restaurant was softly lit, with flickering candles casting shadows across the wooden tables and violins playing in the background. The night was perfect at least for him, but as she sat across the table, nervously twisting the edge of her napkin, her eyes brimmed with a quiet storm. Her lips trembled as she whispered the words that shattered the moment. "I don't deserve this date." And in that single sentence, years of her pain, her doubts, and her broken self-worth spilled into the space between them. What he said next left her completely stunned, because it was just a reply. It was a turning point that would change her life forever. "If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of love to heal even the deepest wounds, pause for a moment, like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Let us spread these stories to more hearts that need them." She had walked into the restaurant feeling like a fraud. Her name was Emily, a woman in her early 30s who carried her scars like invisible chains. On the outside, she looked composed, long hair falling over her shoulder, a dress she had borrowed from her sister, heels that pinched her toes. But inside, she felt like she was hiding from the world. Years of heartbreak had hollowed her spirit. A broken engagement, a toxic relationship that drained her self-worth, and a constant whisper in her mind that she was not good enough. Even when Daniel, the man sitting across from her, had asked her out, she almost said no. She convinced herself that he was too kind, too stable, too real for someone like her. Daniel was different. He wasn't the loud, charming type who swept women off their feet with shallow compliments. Instead, he was calm, observant, and sincere. His life hadn't been free of struggles either. He had lost his mother to cancer at a young age, and that pain had made him deeply empathetic. He worked as a social worker, spending most of his days helping people who had nothing. For him, kindness was to gesture. It was who he was. And when he met Emily at a community event, he noticed not just her beauty, but the sadness she tried so hard to hide. Something about her drew him in. But now, at that candlelit table, with Emily's words still hanging in the air, Daniel's heart tightened. He saw the way she avoided his eyes, as though afraid he might see the truth she carried. She had said she did. He deserved the date, but what she really meant was she did. He deserved love, happiness, or a chance at something good. That belief had become her prison. For a moment, silence stretched between them. Emily felt embarrassed, certain that he would excuse himself politely and never look back. But then Daniel leaned forward, his eyes unwavering. His voice was steady, carrying a weight that seemed to pierce right through her walls. He told her she was wrong, not in an angry or dismissive way, but with a depth that caught her off guard. He said she deserved not just this date, but every moment of love, kindness, and healing the world could offer. He told her that people are not defined by the hurt they've gone through, but by the courage it takes to still sit at the table and try again. His words did just surprise her. They disarmed her. As Emily listened, tears welled in her eyes. She hadn't expected kindness to meet her confession. She had expected rejection. For years, every time she had opened her heart, it had been met with betrayal or indifference. Yet here he was, telling her that she was worthy of more than she could imagine. She struggled to respond, but inside, something cracked, the tiniest fracture in the thick wall she had built around her heart. The evening unfolded slowly after that. Daniel did rush her? Did he overwhelm her with forced positivity? Instead, he asked about her favorite books, her childhood memories, her dreams she once had but abandoned. Emily found herself actually laughing at his stories, and for the first time in a long time, she felt seen without being judged. Yet, deep inside, she battled with guilt. She wondered if she was wasting his time, if she would only end up hurting him too. That self-doubt was her constant shadow. In the weeks that followed, Daniel and Emily continued to meet. Sometimes it was coffee at a small cafe, other times long walks by the river. Every time, she expected him to pull away once he realized how damaged she was. But instead, he leaned in closer. He noticed the way her hands fidgeted when she talked about her past, and he would gently reach over, grounding her. He noticed the hesitation in her laughter, and he would tell her it was okay to let go. He never forced her to share more than she was ready to, but when she did open up, He listened as if every word mattered. Emily's past haunted her. Nights of crying into her pillow after her fiancé had walked away. Days of feeling invisible in a relationship where she gave everything and received nothing. Moments of looking in the mirror and seeing only flaws. Those memories clung to her like ghosts. She confessed to Daniel once that she did think she knew how to be loved anymore. And his reply was simple yet profound. You don't have to know how. Just let me show you. Still, healing wands linear. There were days Emily canceled plans last minute because fear got the better of her. Times she pushed him away, certain he would eventually give up, but Daniel's consistency shocked her. He didn't leave. Instead, he reminded her that everyone deserves patience, especially when learning how to trust again. That steadiness began to teach Emily something she had forgotten: hope. Months passed, and Emily slowly began to change. She started smiling more, standing taller, daring to believe that maybe she was broken beyond repair. She noticed how Daniel never praised her just for her looks, but for her resilience, her thoughtfulness, her ability to care deeply even after everything she had endured. He made her see qualities in herself she had long buried. The woman who once whispered, "I don't deserve this date," was beginning to believe she might actually deserve a future. The real turning point came one rainy evening. They had been walking home after dinner when the downpour soaked them both. Laughing, they ran under a streetlight, their clothes clinging to their skin, water dripping down their faces. For a moment, Emily froze, realizing how alive she felt. No pain, no fear, just pure, messy joy. And in that moment, Daniel looked at her, his gaze so tender it made her chest ache. He told her that he didn't fall in love with her because she was perfect, but because she was real. And for Emily, those words were more healing than anything she had ever heard. For the first time, she allowed herself to believe that love was about deserving it, was about accepting. And as Daniel gently took her hand, she realized she had been wrong all along. She did deserve love, not because she was flawless, but because she was human. By the time their story reached that chapter, Emily was no longer the woman who sat nervously at a restaurant table, ashamed of her worth. She was stronger, softer, more open. Daniel hadn't rescued her. He had reminded her that she could rescue herself, that she was capable of writing a new story. And in doing so, he proved that sometimes the right reply, at the right moment, can change a life forever. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to this channel. Your support helps us keep telling stories that matter. Before you leave, I have one special request. Drop a comment below with these words: "I believe I am worthy." Because sometimes, writing it down is the first step to truly believing it. And so, what began with a trembling confession, "I don't deserve this date," turned into a love story. That one's about perfection, but about healing, patience, and the courage to believe again.